It's European Cup semi-final day, Liverpool Football Club against AS Roma, and we can't wait. So, what's the statement for the day? The statement from me for the day is bring pride, bring passion, bring your scarves, bring your songs, sing, shout, support our boys, boo their boys, appeal for everything. Leave nothing in the ground, you know what I mean? Give everything, swing your scarves, wear red, wave a flag. The Spine Cop boys will be in the corner down by the Hemlin, and they're giving out flags. So if you're in the front of the cop, go down and get one. You know, we want it to look like Rome 77. We want it to be a big boss theatre of football, not theatre of dreams, nothing to do with them mank bastards. This is our time. This is our thing. And Anfield can be amazing on a European night, so make it amazing. If you're going, get in the mood, whatever it takes to get you in the mood, do it. Have a pint, you know, watch your favourite film, dance, sing, shout, do some press-ups, whatever it is that gets you in the mood to sing and shout for the Reds. Do it before you go to the ground tonight, because it's got to be rocking, it's got to be big, and it's got to be boss, and we've got to beat Roma, and we've got to get to the final, and we've got to win number 6. So make it happen, we can make it happen. It's scientifically proven that your team plays better at its home. It's scientifically, I'm not even blagging, I'm not even making it up. Adrenaline is higher when you're playing football in your home and the enemy, and tonight Roma are the enemy. When the enemy come to your lair, the adrenaline's up. So get your adrenaline up and let's beat them.
Now to the newspapers.
I wrote all this down. I wrote this down. I wonder if I've missed any of it out. Is there anything I didn't say? Sack the negatives, play the positives.
Don't be too cool for school.
Don't be cool for school. There's another one, yeah. You know, there's lots of people, you know, you go along to the ground, you think, I've seen it all, I've done it all, I'm boss me, I'm not singing, I'm not shouting, I don't like this player, I don't like that player, I look boss if I slag them off and all this. You don't, mate, and no one's asked. This is about getting Liverpool over the line, and this is our big chance. First leg at home first. Let's get a big advantage. We know that the players love it, we know that they like it, we know that it puts more energy into the legs, we know that it makes them run that extra yard. So do your bit. Do your bit. Why wouldn't you do your bit? And if you're going down early and you're going to sing and shout and wave and do whatever you like around the team bus, do it and do it right. Don't lash stuff. Don't give all a blurt chance to go, oh, look at Liverpool, Scouts is amazing. Just let's just do things properly. You know, you saw Roma players there last night, you know, putting a tribute down on the Hillsborough Memorial. A lovely touch. Something I didn't expect to see, to be honest. Didn't see it coming. It was there, it was great, it was a nice touch. You know, they're a good side. We've got our history together and all that sort of stuff. Let's just keep it on the right side, a rivalry, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Some boss stats, by the way, Craig. You get into these. Jed Ray, who's sound, he's like the club statistician, how'd you say it? Don't know, who cares? Jed has done a load, and he's worth following on Twitter. Look him up. It's Jed, R-E-A, Jed Ray. He says this will be Liverpool's 18th semi-final in European competition. In all competitions, they're 10th in the European Cup. Of the 17 that they've played at Anfield, they've won 13 with 3 draws and a single defeat to Leeds United in the 1971 Fairs Cup. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember it well.
Yeah, it's good competition, that, isn't it?
I bet you do.
I was born in 76, you tit. The previous time the last 4 of the European Cup was represented by a team from England, Germany, Italy and Spain was 1981, and who won that? England have played, in England, Roma have played 19 times and they've only won once, and that was at Anfield in the 2001 UEFA Cup, 1-0, but they still went out because we beat them away. So since that victory, they haven't kept a clean sheet in 11 visits to this country. And you know what I haven't mentioned? You know what I've missed out? I've said all that. You haven't even said a word yet. Jamie Carragher's on this.
What?
Jamie Carragher's on this talking Reds, and I haven't even mentioned it.
Yeah, but so's Craig Hannan's on it as well, you know what I mean? Like, don't forget about me whenever you go all big time and get Jamie Carragher on your fucking talking Reds.
Yeah, Jamie Carragher's on here, so in a minute, when we've stopped getting dead excited about tonight's match, he's going to tell you what it's like to play in a European Cup semi-final. And of course, he's played at Roma. Liverpool have in fact played Roma 5 times, including obviously the 1984 European Cup final. The other 4 times, Carragher played in all of them, so he knows a little bit about what it's like to go there as a player. Is it intimidating? Is it as good as Anfield? Well, Carragher will tell you in a bit. But yeah, are you pumped then? Are you ready?
After that, I'm really excited. I think Jay McKenna said something on the Under the Lights show yesterday, which got me that I hadn't thought about yet. Is that when you when you think about the other teams, the teams that are left in this this competition, it's Liverpool, it's Roma, it's Bayern Munich, it's Real Madrid. Now, that's European heritage, isn't it? That's, those are teams that, their identity's been shaped by this competition. They've had maybe Roma get to the final and obviously beat us, but these are the teams you want to play in this. There's no oil money, it's no new money, it's no, it's no teams that have just got here, and these teams have got here because of merit, and they deserve to be here. And I think that's what's exciting. I love the whole fact that we can, you can hear people reminisce about the old games against Roma, and like how many times we've watched the highlights for the last week from those games. Because, so yeah, today's what we're in it for. This is exactly what we're in it for. I still can't believe we're in the semi-final of the Champions League. It doesn't feel real. It didn't, I didn't think it was going to come this quickly in terms of Jurgen Klopp's time here. There's been little indicators as to, earlier in this competition, and at times when we played the big teams away from home last season, there's been indicators that, we could go far in a competition like this. But I didn't think it'd be this year. And if you'd said to us back in 2009 that we weren't going to have something like this until 2018, you would have laughed, because of the previous 5 years, those times during Benitez. So
took it for granted, didn't we? We started to take it for granted.
We did.
We've had this fallow spell which hasn't been great. But where we are, it feels like we're on the up. I mean, the other thing that I took out of one of the podcasts we did yesterday was the idea that, whatever happens now, like this is brilliant. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for us as a club, us as fans, and these players to go and make history. But already this has been a good season. This has been a season that's exceeded our expectations, and that isn't, before someone puts in the comments that's me accepting lower standards or whatever. Just it isn't at all. It's me saying that it feels like the club are in a good place now. It feels like this squad, this manager, us as fans, everything is pointing in the right direction. And this isn't going to be, I can't see it where Liverpool, go this far this season, finish this high in the league this season, and then fall off a cliff. And that's happened too many times in the past. I think we're primed now for a few seasons now to be a good side, be a good team, be a good squad. They're a young side. You've got Keita to come in as well. There's loads and loads to be excited about right now about this Liverpool side, and that's what I think's boss. I mean, that's a bigger picture chat, and we've got the smaller picture though of tonight.
The other thing I would say about this season is that, like, how many great moments have we enjoyed or experienced, both at Anfield and away from home as well. Like, not just in this competition. Obviously, City was it's been, those two games against City, the atmosphere was brilliant, both in the Etihad and at Anfield, and that when Salah scores that goal at the Etihad, and the way he celebrates, he stands in front of us as if he's like Christ himself, and that's one of those moments that you'll reminisce, and you'll reminisce over with your mates, and stories that you'll retell and tell. They're the kind of stories that you hear your dad and your granddad talk about those European nights they enjoyed, Chelsea in 05, St Etienne in 77, and you get bored because you weren't there and it wasn't yours. And I said this on one of the podcasts, but that game felt like one of ours, and hopefully it's not consigned to history, and hopefully we look back at that game and we think that was brilliant, but that was the beginnings of something that was on the way to Kiev and on the way to number 6. But yeah, what I would do for a couple of those celebrations from Salah, where he's just stood like that in front of us. And another thing I was thinking about that was I wonder what he saw at that moment. What could he see in front of him? He could just see
limbs.
He could see fists clenched. You could see people climbing over each other and falling down stairwells and crawling over each other. And
Kev
Walsh going mad in every single bit of footage that there is that BT have. So I'm hoping for another one of those tonight. I'm hoping for 2 more of those actually, 3 more of those actually, 2 more on the way to Kiev, and then we all go to Kiev. But yeah, those, these are the nights we're in it for, and another one tonight, another one next week, and then we'll all be in Kiev having a nice time.
What I love as well is that, look, there's lots of people and journalists or the fans, whatever, they get sniffy about Liverpool's history, about us banging on about old European nights and all that. I get it to an extent in that it's not this team, it's not this squad, and it's not this manager, but it is us as a group of fans. Like, I woke up this morning dead excited, and Rome 77 was in my head, 84 was in my head. I'm drinking from a 77 cup, which is why I was smiling about that before, if you thought it was being weird.
And I'm drinking from this cup you can get from the Anfield store, the Anfield Wrap store. Yeah, go on.
I started having a look at like old Rome pictures, and the checkered flag, and like people jumping on coaches with big huge rosettes and flares on and all that. But I love it because, like, what I love about it is that tradition of support on the continent from Liverpool fans has been passed on, from fathers to sons and all the rest of it, and between mates. And there is a Liverpool thing of making the banners, making the flags, and it's not, there's not quite the same tradition at other clubs. As much as they want to say that there is, there just isn't. Oh, and someone was asking about mine, by the way, because I said I was going to make a banner. Well, I'm not Kelly as the missus, because I'm not very creative. She's doing a great job. She's been working away on it. So far, there is a liver bird, and it says Rome Sweet. We still need Souness with the European Cup and another Rome at the bottom, but it's absolutely massive, and it's looking sound. I
was waiting to see whether you would you pretend that you'd done it.
Nah, I've got to give Kelly all the credit.
I'm glad that you've given.
Kelly's worked really hard.
It looks good, but like
the sewing machine out.
But that is the thing. Like, I don't think other teams do that. They definitely don't do that. In fact, they don't in the numbers that we do. Where as soon as we've got a big European away, we're all thinking about, right, what banner are we making, what flag are we taking. And it's little things like that sets us apart. Like we saw in the previous round against Man City, the atmosphere there, that's what sets us apart. There's been loads discussed around that, and about Man City fans not believing it. Well, a mate of mine, I don't know if I said this in a show or in real life, but a mate of mine after that Anfield game, who was in the City and City season ticket holder, texted me and he said it's the best atmosphere I've ever witnessed, and that says it all. That's from an opposition fan, so that can be the difference, and it was the difference against Manchester City. Hopefully it's the difference tonight. But yeah, I love all those little things, and I love all the old stories about like how people used to get to Rome and the trains and the planes, and it's the romanticism. Like, Liverpool is a romantic club, Jurgen Klopp's a romantic manager, and there is a certain romanticism to us in this tournament and this competition. So what I would do for number 6.
Dortmund, Man United, Villarreal, Manchester United, did they say that? Chelsea, I'm not going to keep saying it's Dortmund again, whatever you want, Saint-Etienne, Inter Milan. There's so many nights that Liverpool have done it. We're going to do it again tonight. What's it like to play in, though? Well, Carragher's going to tell you now. Then there's an advert about why you should get involved with the Anfield app and why this is the best time to do so because of all this Euro madness. And then we'll be back in a minute with the papers.
The mighty boys in red went to Manchester. They conquered Manchester City. They've beaten them by 5 goals to 1 goal across 2 legs. Liverpool are in the Champions League European Cup semi-final.
Feels like we're living through an incredible time in the history of the club. Almost out of the blue, as happens, I think, with the Champions League and its effects on seasons.
Every single day I wake up at the minute, I think of Kiev. I think about what this Liverpool side can achieve in the Champions League this season.
This is what we're in it for, isn't it? It was absolutely unbelievable that night. It's one that will live in the memory for a long time. I mean, at 3-0, I'm emotional.
This is an opportunity. It's what we want as fans, and it's what players want as players. Well, they want to be involved in the latter stages of the Champions League. They want to try and win things. They want a medal. They want a trophy.
Let's go and have a pint indeed. Don't tell me it doesn't matter. It's a fucking joy to be alive. What about the Reds?
This could be a fantastic run through to Kiev. We want you to come and share it with us, hopefully celebrating what could be a glorious run to number 6. Come and share it with us at the Anfield app. £5 a month. We really hope you do.
All right, joined now by Jamie Carragher. Jamie obviously played in semi-finals of the European Cup, which must have been an amazing thing to do. But what does that feel like as a player in the run-up to it, actually playing in it? I mean, we've seen Van Dijk over the weekend talking about, only a few players get this opportunity to play at, because it's the last 4 of a European Cup. So what was it like?
It is. I mean, it's if obviously if you get to the final, fingers crossed that happens. The final's always obviously in a neutral ground, so. But you can't play a bigger game at your home ground than a Champions League semi-final. It doesn't get bigger than that. You don't play finals at your home ground, or very rarely. So that's what makes it bigger. When I was going into the Anfield sort of first or second leg, you're thinking it doesn't get better than this at your home stadium. That's why I think the excitement builds for the supporters, really. And I think certainly for me in 2005, it wasn't until we got to the semi-final that I thought we could win it. Before that, it was more about enjoying it, the experience. We're on a great run. You're hoping something could happen, but not really believing it. I think once you get to the semi-final, there's 4 teams left. You've got a decent draw, and I also say I think Roma will say they've got a decent draw because Bayern Munich and Real Madrid are the sort of people who are in this situation an awful lot. So it gives both teams an opportunity, really, to think they've got a decent chance of getting to a final, and that's where maybe, I wouldn't say the excitement stops, but maybe a little bit more nerves kicks in, because there is something that you think this could, it's life-changing really in some ways as a football if you win a European Cup. Really, I mean, I wouldn't be getting asked to do all different things. I've won that Champions League. I'm probably on LFC TV. But it's, I mean, very few players, as Van Dijk said, he's mentioned in the semi-final, get a chance to play there, but if you get to the final, that's another level. If you can win it, again, that goes a level above. So there's a lot of top players, great players who've never won a European Cup, and listen, we're fortunate, we've won it 5 times, hopefully it's number 6, but those players who are involved in it, it doesn't get better at club level.
What about Roma then? I mean, I've just had a check there. We played them 5 times in our history in like official games, not friendlies, and you played in 4 of them. Twice in the UEFA Cup, twice in the Champions League. Obviously the other one's 84 when we beat them in the European Cup final, but you know, so you've been out to Rome, you've played in that ground. There's lots of talk about, you know, how good Anfield is on a big night. You mentioned it there yourself. What about their ground? What was it like as a player to go and play in their ground? Was it intimidating? Was it? I don't remember it being intimidating. Don't forget that it wasn't a semi-final what we're playing now, and I think it will be a great atmosphere. I think it'll be an atmosphere for Liverpool players to enjoy, really. I'm sure before the game all the flags and they'll be singing, and they have someone on a megaphone, somebody singing to supporters in Spain and Italy at times, so I'm sure that'll go on. But it's not Anfield, because there's a running track and you're so far away from the pitch. I mean, people may say the Italian supporters maybe don't create the same atmosphere, but then you look at the Napoli fans last night welcoming home their team and they beat Juventus, so it showed you can create an atmosphere. But I think it'd be one more to be enjoyed rather than be intimidating, and it should lift the players in some ways. Well, certainly from my point of view, if I was playing, I'd be thinking, I hope there is an atmosphere. I hope it's good. That's the whole point. You know, it's a Champions League semi-final. There should be an atmosphere. So, but I don't think it'll be Anfield. The game itself, then, how do you see it panning out? I mean, you watch loads of footy. You know, what do you make of Roma as a threat? How do you see the semi-final panning out?
Well, I think the thing for Rome is with the manager. I think he changed the system in the second leg against Barcelona, and maybe that caused them a problem. Obviously, he did, losing the game the way he did, 3-0. So that may be a question for Jurgen Klopp. He may be not sure what Rome are going to do in the game, really. I mean, Dzeko, we know him from the Premier League. He's been a revelation there. I think Chelsea were trying to, I think it was Chelsea, weren't they, trying to get him back, I think in January. But Dzeko was a very good player in the Premier League. Is he a better player now? What was he, in his 30s now? So I look at it and still think we should have the edge on Rome. They've still got De Rossi in midfield. He's been a great player, but he's well into his 30s. I think Strootman's still there at Rome.
Not sure.
I think he's the Dutch lad, yeah. I think everyone looked at him a while ago. But you look player for player and you think Liverpool have just got the edge. Dzeko being their main man, you'd expect Van Dijk to deal with that situation, or certainly I would, how well he's played, and he's got that physical presence because Dzeko is a big unit. So it won't be easy. They're in a similar position to us in their league, where they're not quite sort of challenging for the title, just off that, really. But no, they're a good side. I don't think they're a great side.
What about the home leg being first? Where would you say an advantage? Like, would you prefer it the other way around, or do you think it doesn't really matter, or do you think it's to Liverpool's advantage even that they're at home? How do you see that?
I mean, years ago when I was a kid growing up, it was always like you had to play at home first. I don't think it seemed to matter as much now. I was actually pleased when we played City that we were at home at first, and the reason being was I thought if we go to City and you can lose the game, because obviously they're a very good side, maybe it takes a little bit of the sting out of the atmosphere with the supporters going to the game for the second leg if you're 1 or 2-0 down, where we create a great atmosphere but you don't actually believe you're going to go through. when we played City first, everything was starting from scratch. Everything was 0-0. Everything was to play for. So you got that full atmosphere and getting Anfield exactly at 100%. And that'll be the same now. Really, maybe with Roma, because I think maybe we could still go there and get something, or even if we lost 1-0, you'd still fancy us at home at Anfield. It may have been better being the other way around, but I think we've just got to look at it and think we've just got to win the game at home and keep a clean sheet and just have that belief like we did with Man City, we can go anywhere and score. I'd be very surprised if we never scored over there, but let's be fair, they stopped Messi and Suarez scoring, didn't they? So again, it won't be easy, but again, it's a game you look at, you think you're playing a Champions League semi-final and you're going to be playing a team from Italy who are 3rd or 4th in the league rather than a Barcelona or a Real Madrid or a Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, it does give you a good opportunity, but again, they'll be saying exactly the same.
Yeah. There's more from Jamie on the Anfield Wrap. The lads have recorded some audio with them as well, so look out for that. Thanks very much for coming in, mate.
Sound.
Great stuff from Jamie Carragher there, and if you want more from him, there is audio where he gets into the famous night against Roma when Gerard Houllier made the surprise return to the dugout. He talks about what it's like playing against them, what it was like to play him that night, a bit more about European ties and that sort of thing, and what, a bit more on what he was talking about there. So if you want that, get involved, have a listen to the podcast that he was on. Also, we had Tony Barrett in as well, talking about sort of his job, the fans, the tickets, all that sort of stuff. That's there as well on Tour Player, and all the big build-up that you need to what is a huge match in Liverpool's history. There's also a coach home out today, and then of course, whatever happens tonight, we'll be in the studio tonight recording a podcast straight after, hopefully absolutely buzzing about a Liverpool win. Listen to that too, get involved, and also follow us on all our social media today, because we'll be bringing all what it's like, the madness of a European big night in Liverpool at Anfield. It'll be all over our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook today, so get involved, have a look at that. In the papers then, I've got to be honest with you, most of the papers is about Liverpool. Because
I think that's what we want though, isn't it?
Yeah,
it could be ours talking about VAR and fucking
It's
Spurs.
an absolutely huge night. For some reason, part of the thing that I wanted to print off isn't here, and I've no idea how that's happened, but well in me. But basically, I'm going to have to wing it now. First off, there's this, right? So we just talked about banners and our European tradition and how Anfield's going to look amazing and that tonight. Well, last night, Everton played against Newcastle. No one was asked. It was a largely really boring game. Sam Allardyce had a little laugh at the fans again and stuff at the end. And apparently, if you're asking Evertonian normally, flags, banners, that sort of stuff, cop-out behaviour, that Craig. And yet, look at this. Sam is going to put this up on the screen. Look at this. This was at Goodison Park last night. How shit is that? You're making banners basically saying you want your manager out there, and while we're getting prepared for a European Cup semi-final. Compare and contrast, you blue-nosed bastards.
And on that cop-out behaviour, tune in tonight and see it, the atmosphere that we create and the things, out around the stadium and everything, that's cop-out behaviour. Cop-out behaviour is being in European Cup semi-finals, so...
it's really threw me where the rest of this has gone. I don't know how that's happened. It was on my screen and I didn't delete it anyway. Shut up. Okay. In The Guardian today, there's a huge
this is a belter,
interview
actually.
with Jurgen Klopp. Really good, getting into loads of stuff. I'm not going to do the politics because I can't be bothered. If you want to argue about politics, well, you've got an internet there, all the best.
An internet.
But,
Dad.
But Klopp got into that, but he also... What I liked what he got into was he talking about... He was talking about Lovren, and he was talking about the keeper as well. This was it. He says, Klopp says, the whole Liverpool family is not happy with not winning big trophies since whenever. So you always find the reason. The problem is we don't spend enough, or the players make mistakes. So really, it's a difficult job to be Liverpool's goalkeeper. I'm not sure who was the last goalkeeper everyone was happy with here. It would be a while ago. And if you're not Sami Hyypiä, then your life as a defender is also difficult. I don't exactly know about Dejan's start at Liverpool, but he made a few mistakes. People always have that in mind and they go, oh, Lovren again. But I'm long in the business, and I said to Dejan, if somebody told me, come on, you have the chance, create a centre-half. We found a way to do it genetically, bam, bam, bam. That's him, strong, quick, both feet, can head like crazy, jumps through the roof, he's all you need. Yes, a few things you can improve, his concentration, but these are human beings. He also says other centre-halves make mistakes. Against City, Virgil van Dijk, an outstanding person, a fantastic player. He should have cleared the ball before they scored. Virgil knows that, but nobody spoke about it because we won. It doesn't look like it, but I'm really relaxed in judging these things. When I see talent, I'm convinced and I am calm. Boss, fantastic words from the boss. I woke up this morning, right, and I'm looking at the comments on yesterday's video, and because me, Ori and Ryan said that we thought in general Carragher is doing well and his style as a goalkeeper actually suits Liverpool, I get, let's have some of what you're smoking, lad. So your first thought, mate, on the day of a semi-final of a European Cup is to have a go at our goalkeeper. I'm sorry, but your mindset's a little bit wrong there for me. Klopp's spot on here. Get behind the players. They're wearing red. They're our players. Let's see where we can take them. They're all human. Let's stop moaning a bit, because tonight's a big game. But as I say, that's a great interview with Klopp in The Guardian there. There's also one he's done with Channel 4, which is worth a look. Tweeted it out last night on the Anfield app. He actually mentions safe standing, or he's asked about safe standing, and he says, well, most people on the Kop are doing it anyway, they're standing, but it's not very comfortable for them because they've got a seat behind them. But he said if people want it, they've got to make it happen. He said something along those lines. I agree with him on this. If you want safe standing to happen, sign the petition that's out there. It's on about 85,000 signatures now. If it gets to 100,000, the government have to have a parliamentary debate about
Crystal
it.
Palace tweeted
Crystal
about it
Palace
yesterday.
were tweeting about it yesterday, that's right, and they sort of like broke out from the Premier League line of no one wants it. So there is momentum building up. Good to see Klopp talking about it and talking about it in a positive way as well. So get involved if you want safe standing to happen. We can make it happen as a collective, as a group of fans, as fans all over the world. So sign that petition if that's what you want to see happen, because it is safer than the current situation, which is kind of the point really.
If you ever needed an advert as to why the current situation isn't safe, it was the Kop in that last round against Man City, like people falling over, me included, like your shins and the back of your legs the next day, just bruised. It's definitely not safe. Definitely not safe.
Also, if you like on a second tier, and I've seen this situation, we're on a second tier in a ground and everyone's standing up, and then there's a little bit of a domino effect, people going over chairs. Then one day something quite serious can happen here, I would suggest. So the idea, I don't quite get why a safer situation for people who want to stand is being opposed, really. So take a look at it, educate yourself on it, watch the videos. It isn't the terraces of the 1980s. It is hugely, hugely different, and it is safer than what we have right now. As I say, on the papers, it's just all the Reds. Mo Salah on the back of the Echo there. Bruce Grobbelaar on the back of the Mail, talking about 84 and his spaghetti legs and everything else. Klopp warning, we did a little bit of this yesterday, but he's just saying as well, just behave yourselves, don't lash stuff at buses and stuff like that, don't give your UEFA a chance to throw a load of fines and close down parts of the stadium. And also, have a think about what, the travelling Reds going to Italy. Like, if you act up tonight, then there'll be people in Italy who go, okay, well, we'll do the same when you come over here. So just have a think. Something a little bit different there on the back of the Mail as well. The FA, they've set tickets for the FA Cup final at £145.
Mad, I saw that yesterday. It's like 30% up on the previous year. It's something absolutely mad. What's the cheapest?
Prices for adult tickets start at £45.
Yeah, but have you ever sat in them?
Yeah, they're shit.
Fucking awful. They're right at the very top. And
then the others are £80. They were £65 last year. £115. They were £85 last year. And the £145 tickets were £115 last year. So yeah, I mean, it's just another chance yet again. Football authorities, football clubs, airlines, everyone just squeezing everything they can out of football fans. One day, people are just going to walk away. People are going to say it's too much. I know lads who want to go tonight, who are desperate to go tonight, but they're not paying knobhead touts £500 to do so. It's just all leaves a bit of a bitter taste in the mouth, really, but there you go. Back of the Mirror, Salah braced for some rough treatment from his former teammates. That's if you can get near him, lads. and then Salah on the back of the Times as well. Honestly, mate, there's not that much paper stuff to do. It's just, oh, hang on, Joycey. Joycey's quite good. This is quite interesting. I'll ask you about this. Joycey says, is it a bigger test, basically, because Liverpool are the favourites now? Because we almost revel in being an underdog,
like,
don't we? We love the idea that, oh, you've got no chance against them, and we'll go, oh, come on then.
Yeah, like even like I'm thinking back to when we used to do this under Benitez, like it always felt as if we were the underdogs no matter who we were playing. Both the semi-finals, 05 and 07 against Chelsea, underdogs. Both the finals against AC Milan, underdogs. Juventus, underdogs. Like this is a strange situation for us, I think. But look, you know, I don't think the players will be going in with that mindset. I think Jurgen Klopp tried to play that down a little bit, and Klopp was actually talking, I think, about us being the underdog. I think that's just the way managers work, isn't it? They're just trying to play it down, try and make it as if they're not the favourites. But look, I'm not worried about what you know, the players' mindset. I'm not worried about whether they'll be thinking, you know, they'll be worrying about the favourites tag. They'll be going out there and, you know, they'll want to get us in one fit into the final. So yeah, not worried about that.
That's it, up the Reds.